relationships. So we want our relationships to work, but at some point there are things that we are doing that are not healthy and that are making our relationships not to work. So the first tip that you are going to learn today is, instead of jumping into conclusions, listen. We tend to conclude things before we listen to the both sides of the story, and it's better for us to listen so that you can have a solid conclusion or a closure to to the matter or to the problem that you are dealing with. Number two is, instead of trying to change your partner, accept them. You know, we try to make people like they need to be the way we want. Mostly we like a person to have some specific character traits, and we take that chance to, we tend to change them. And if a person likes you, they won't do something that will hurt you. So accept them and grow with them together. And one thing you need to know, like, no one is 100% good. There are some things that you have to make corrections in order to fit for your partner, but don't try to change them. Just accept them the way they are. And it doesn't mean that you are going to accept something that you don't like. By the time you're having a relationship with a person, there are those character traits that the person is having that are good for you, or you saw in your list that the higher percentage of it, it's what that you want, and the little percentage of it, you are going to change in the process. You are going to accept them and they will change, or the characters that you want, some will be portrayed in later. The third thing I would like us to, or the third tip of a healthy relationship is, instead of projecting, identify your own triggers. Instead of projecting, identify your own triggers or insecurities. We always like to project them than to identify them. You have something that is disturbing you, you just go direct and say it's 1 2 3 4 5 6, but yet you have not identified it. So once you identify something, it's easier to work on it, or it's easier to talk about it. The fourth thing that we are going to learn today is, instead of offering unsolicited advice, empathize. It's better to understand and share the feeling of another than to just give an advice that no one asked you for. Sometimes you might be talking and somebody might not be interested of the advice that you are giving. So it's better to offer, and it's better to give empathy than to give unsolicited advice. And the fifth point that we are going to learn today is, instead of controlling your partner, trust them. That is another thing that it's another thing that is so, it's affecting our relationships. Instead of controlling your partner, trust them. Mostly we want to control our partners as what we like, not what they like. So when you're controlling you're controlling something, it means that you want it to do the way you want, not the way the partner wants. So instead of us controlling them, they will do some things that we like, and there are some things that we're not like. Remember, we are two different people having two different DNA, different character traits. So there's no way that a person is going to do exactly what you want the person to do. So instead of us controlling, or instead of controlling your partner, just trust them that whatever that they are doing, it's good. It's better to trust them with anything they can do. And that mostly goes for us ladies. When maybe your partner is outside, like, what is he doing right now? Who is he with right now? Why is he not communicating to me? Just trust the person that whatever he is doing, whatever that he is, it's okay. Is not we taking them as their babies. Like, what is he doing right now? Why has he not updated me of what is happening? So if you trust a person with anything or with whatever that they are doing, they will do it and the results will be very amazing. Excuse me. The sixth thing that we are going to discuss today is, instead of criticizing them, offer constructive feedback. Let's not let's not indicate faults to our partners, but let's all offer a feedback that is so constructive, or let's do correction in a positive way, like doing the way it is nice, but we try. If maybe your partner is doing something, you say, yeah, the way you are doing it is nice, but what if we try to do it this and this and this? Yeah, actually that one is not a bad idea, but what if we do it this and this? So that is offering a creative or a constructive feedback than criticizing them. No, that thing you're saying, it cannot work, it will not work. That's not good. Let us not criticize our partners, but let us give a constructive feedback. Another thing we are going to learn today is point number 7 is, instead of betraying yourself, set healthy boundaries. Instead of betraying yourself, set. The seventh point, or the seventh tip that we are going to learn today is, instead of betraying yourself, set healthy boundaries. We move boundaries to please our partners. We move boundaries to make them happy. Sometimes we even sacrifice our happiness for them. But what is better is to set healthy boundaries for both parties, not being like self-oriented. You only set boundaries that are good for you, but let us set boundaries that are better for us, for the two of you. And the eighth thing that we will discuss today, or the eighth tip of a healthy relationship today is, instead of making assumptions, ask questions. Instead of making assumptions, ask questions. This is where it gets tough, and I'm not like I'm so much hard to ladies, but ladies, we take assumptions like conclusions. We do take assumptions as conclusions. Don't crucify me for this. I'm a lady, and mostly we take assumptions to be conclusions. We don't ask questions. We just make like whatever that we think, and it's assumption, and the topic is concluded. But it's better to ask questions. Relationship die because of assumptions. You might sit and you might think, maybe my partner is doing something somewhere, and you have 2-3 clues and it's closed. And that all are taken to be corrected. So it's better to ask questions and get a correct feedback. Sometimes, I'm not saying like all times, but sometimes, mostly, assumptions, they are not correct. They're just barriers. They're just barriers that you're putting on the way, but they ain't really correct. And the ninth and last tip of a healthy relationship is, instead of blaming, take responsibility of your actions or your words. Instead of blaming, take responsibility of your actions or your words. This is where it gets tough, and mostly for the male side, for the masculine energy, sometimes it's very hard for them to take responsibility and ask for forgiveness where they have done something wrong. You will explain to them, but I did it out of anger. I did it because you are the one who pushed me to do it. So you are putting blame on your partner instead of taking responsibility of what you have done that has hurt your partner. Mostly we don't want to take responsibility. We blame them on, we say it's anger, I did it out of anger, I did it out of anger, I did it out of alcohol, or sorry, I was drunk. And we are just looking for something to put blame on. We are not taking that responsibility, like, I did it, I did this and this, and I'm sorry. So let us take, for us to have a healthy relationship, let's take responsibility instead of taking blame. Take responsibility of the actions, take responsibility of the words you said or you did, and ask for forgiveness. Just so simple word, I'm sorry. It's just two words. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. That one, if we learn this, if we use these 9 points that we have learned today, our relationship with our families, with our friends, with our spouses are going to be very healthy. And healthy relationships, it's also adding to a healthy living. Thank you for watching it up to this end. Until next time, those are the 9 points that are making our relationships very strong, or are making our relationships healthy. Until next time, bye bye. And always, 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 we remember to always keep the peace. Bye bye.